Can small change?
Yeah, you sound fine.
All right, cool.
You sound fine. So yeah, I got an excellent connection to the deal. I don't know why Discord went kind of haywire on me there.
Yeah, it totally did.
That's it's never fun when that happens.
Hey, we're not live on video, are you? Are you?
We should be live on video right now.
Because I finally actually got a YouTube pop up because I subscribed to you, and I finally got a pop up.
Right, that's because I just now went live again.
Well, I didn't get that before.
Right, that's because it was set to unlisted.
Unlisted.
For some reason. It should not have been set to unlisted. I didn't change anything. That's why I'm like, wait, how did that happen exactly?
We'll just have to check in the future. That's why we're learning. It's good to know.
Yep.
I'll try to remember that each week and be like, hey, make sure it didn't get like randomly reset.
Mm-hmm.
Still says unlisted, by the way.
It shouldn't. No, it says public.
Ben,
maybe it's just mine's not updated.
Yeah, you might still be looking at the old one. Because Bartik's bot is delayed, and Bartik's YouTube channel just launched the unlisted one, the old one.
Old one. All right. It's listed. You're good. Hype. Even got the notification, and we're back. Okay, good. All right, guys. So,
are we not? We're not doing the 6-minute thing again. Are we just live right now?
We're just going. We're just going.
Oh, cool.
We're just going.
Hey,
we're not gonna wait. Make everybody wait 6 more minutes to get offended.
Let's offend people right now.
We're equal opportunity offenders.
Hell yeah.
But
welcome.
Even if I'm looking at a channel, it doesn't come up. I have to keep refreshing over and over again. That's really strange. Randall is in the house. What's going on, Randall? How you doing, man? Mr. Tennman sent me the rap that you sent him. And we got to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that. But we'll definitely find something to do with it because it was just the right amount of stupid, which is what we're going for at all times on this channel.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Yes. That was.
So this is going to be the video. So this is going to be the video that goes up permanently too for the first ever all offense intended. Now this is true. In our actual cold open, I just beat Zillin in a staring contest.
But I guess there's no proof of that.
There's
no proof of that.
That's fine. My eyeballs are still burning, and I have no proof even for my victory.
Nope. There is no proof of that. So. I wonder if I can go get that and edit it and make it look like I won. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wait, what? That's cool. Yeah, edit to wait, was it?
Emo says, can you offend me and Braum? Challenge given. Throws down a whole bag of gloves. So we get the gauntlet, or all the gauntlets have been thrown down. A whole bag of gauntlets have been thrown.
A whole bag.
Apparently we're not capable of offending them. So just to kind of reset just a little bit, we are broadening the show out from what it originally started out as a Ashes of Creation specific show. And then as the weeks have gone on here, we've realized there's just not enough there to do 2 full hours every week of this. And there's not enough interest, even if we did have enough content. People have kind of seen what there is from Ashes of Creation through the Alpha 1 process. And it's like, there's not really anything new for them to see. And they know that until Alpha 2 gets here. So we spent some time, we, workshopped some different names for the show. This one came out of nowhere. This wasn't even in the running. It was just one of my friends, Tennman said, no offense attended about something else. And I made the joke that that's not like saying no offense intended is how to get banned out of my Discord channel. And then one of my friends was like, yeah, all offense intended. Like, wait, that's it. That's the one.
Oh my gosh. All offense intended. I love it. I love that, Voices of Verra is still going to be a segment, and we're going to obviously have our roots in Ashes of Creation. Voices of Verra will be a much bigger segment once a month after the Friday after the live stream, which actually is a great point to reminder. I wanted to make a reminder night for everybody. It's going to be September 24th, next Friday. It's the earliest it can essentially be in the month. It's obviously usually a little bit later, so make sure that you realize, next Friday is the live stream. That means that the all offense intended after that live stream that evening will, of course, be talking about anything new that comes out from there. But and Voices of Verra will still be a huge part of this show and going, especially leading into the Alpha 2 and beyond for Ashes of Creation. But we also have a lot of other things that are happening in gaming, other things we want to talk about, other jokes we want to make, other games we want to make fun of. So we have a lot of new things and lots of new games to talk about tonight on the show.
Right. Yeah. That I was saying earlier that we're gonna touch on like 7 or 8 games today. We have a whole slew of games. I love Randall says, wait, Zillin, are you saying all in fence intended? And that makes me think I should go back and change our logo, put an extra N in there, and then make those 4 letters a different color. Like that absolutely should be a thing.
That's funny. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Intended.
Gosh, Randall.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Super's here. Oh my gosh, Super is here right now.
Oh, yes. Offend me. My body is ready, he says.
Oh, you want to be offended?
Warlord says, hey guys,
stick around later to see where this goes. Stick around later, Super. I got surprises for you, baby. You sexy man. Ooh, I can't believe he's here, and I was planning to do that tonight.
Yes,
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's get the show going. We're running obviously quite a bit behind, so let's get the show going. Because we are who we are, and because me and Tennman are just world famous, every single episode of All Offense Intended has been sponsored right off from the very get-go of the show. And as always, we have a sponsor this week, just like we do. Take it away, Tennman.
Yeah. Obviously, sponsorship has been huge here on All Offense Intended. We've had Big Banana. We've had Big Toy last week. This week, we are sponsored by no other than, I'm not used to this being here. Excuse me. We're Big Damage. Big Damage, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop. Did you just say excuse me to your microphone?
Excuse me. Sexy new microphone. Oh, look at that stand. Yes, my precious. Oh, yes. God, it's so sexy. I feel like I'm on a real podcast now. How's it going, everybody? It's wonderful to be here on the 7,000th episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Gaming.
So pros, Tin Man has a real microphone now. Cons, he talks to the microphone as if it's a person. Okay. All right. Well,
wait a minute. Everything is real on this show. Listen, look, we have Steven the Sandal, everybody. Oh, hey, Steven the Sandal. What's that? Oh, the Alpha 2 date? You already told me that last week. I'm the only one that knows. That's right. No, everything has a name. Everything. I'll have to name the microphone and the stand and everything. That'll be fun. Okay. Wait a second. We're supposed to slowly go off the rails, okay? We're like 2 minutes into the show, and it's absolute chaos. And I want to make sure that we get to this ad of the week because
we gotta get paid.
They sent us a lot of amazing stuff, y'all. Seriously, Big Damage it has sponsored this week, and I know what you're thinking. Big Damage. Well, we've got a lot of products. Dylan, they sent you that whole box of products, right?
Yes, I got the Big Damage products, but I don't have them here. You do. Of course you do.
I brought them on the show. I thought we were going to share them and talk about them. I've been using this all week. This is Big Damage Lube and Lotion. It is, wow. It is good.
Wait. What have you been using the Big Damage Lube and Lotion for at your computer?
This is a family show, Zillin. You're so funny. Okay, we've also got Big Damage shaving cream. So if you're like me and it's just kind of like peach fuzz and you can't grow a big sexy beard like Super or Bartik or somebody like that, you got your shaving cream. And then of course, these vitamins, let's just say that you're in more of a semi-hardcore guild and you're looking to go into maybe more of a hardcore rating scene. These will keep you going for 4 hours, Zillin. That's a 4-hour rating period, of course. Big Damage. Thank you so much again, Big Damage, for sponsoring All Offense Intended. Big Damage, get your Big Damage products anywhere. If you're listen, if you kind of been lazy lately, maybe you're trying to up your game. Maybe you're considered a peon in your guild.
Right.
And you want to be more like an officer, run your own guild someday. Big Damage is for you, y'all. Big Damage. 10% off with Big Damage / All Offense Intended.
There we go. Perfect. So Super says I showed up and the show derails. Perfect. and then he also pointed out that shaving cream is way too low. It's been too much of it's been used already. Not the shaving cream, the lube and lotion.
Oh.
The bottle's too empty for how recently you got. Yeah, it's been used.
I've used it quite a lot today.
Sounds about right. That sounds about just absolutely perfect. Okay, so guys, one of my favorite things about us switching to this new format that's a more broad format where we can do a lot more is we can have guests to talk about more than just Ashes of Creation. We could also maybe one of these days have multiple guests in one episode. That would be really cool. So I would like to introduce our very first guest ever on All Offense Intended, Mr. Keybind Gaming. Welcome into the show, man.
Woo! Yes. Yeah, enjoy that. That's some big damage water right there.
So yeah. Keybind, I don't know how much Voices of Verra / All Offense Intended you've watched in the past, but we don't really have people on the show without like trying to embarrass them or doing something. So I just want to play a little something for you, and I just hope you enjoy it.
Okay. I see where this is going.
Keybind Gaming, your stream is old, it's molding. My stream comes from Iceland. Your stream just got permabanned. My stream has peppers that I eat. Your stream can't handle the heat. My stream has me getting swole. Your stream has literally no soul. My stream is the best around. Your stream just got shut down. My stream plays all day long. Your stream looks like something went wrong. My stream gets bigger like an eggplant. Your stream like literally can't. My stream has all the ladies begging. Your stream is buffering. My stream is hot like fire. Your stream could never inspire. My stream is about to supersize. Your stream is on the demise. It's time we let the world know that Keybind is up to bat, ready to chat. P.S. He's the best in the business. He's got a dick like Jesus. Keybind has the best mount around, ladybug. I could really use a hug. Mount me daddy. Mount me daddy. Mount me daddy. Mount me Keybind. Please mount me Keybind. Yeah. Gotcha, Keybind. What are you gonna do now? Nothing. You're on our show. All offense intended. All offense intended.
So, welcome to the show, Keybind.
I think you're up for the Grammy next year.
So this is an actual warning to anybody that's on the show. If you think I nonchalantly just am like, hey, what's your favorite song? And then you say out loud anything, that's going to be what we make a parody song out of. Keybind, I don't know if you remember, but while you were live streaming, I asked you that question. That's the song you said.
Yeah, I remember, and I sent you that as a joke. But I love that. Can I use that for my YouTube intro?
100% you can. Right yes, sir. Yes. So Roar is already using the song that we did for him as intro to his stream, and you're already using the when we did the streamer shout out of the week for you as part of your intro. So yeah, absolutely, that's part of what we're trying to do. Is we want everybody to be thanking All Offense Intended for their stream intros and music and stuff. It's not self-serving at all, Keybind. Not at all.
No. I definitely not. This is great.
This is great. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation here with Keybind, and there's three places we're gonna go with the conversation. The very first place I want to go with the conversation is a little bit of a conversation about New World. We're 15 days away from launch or something like that. It's not that far away, maybe less than that. Mm-hmm. And my opinion, after putting probably 40 hours into the game, is that it's just a shallow game. There's just nothing there to hold on to. And I know that it's a game that you streamed. From what I understand, you're planning on streaming it more when it goes live. Is that accurate?
Promised my community that I would play it, so I will play it. That's just how it is. But I kind of agree with you, though.
Well, no, that doesn't help me. I want you to sell New World to me.
You want me to sell you New
Yeah,
World?
sell me New World because right so far I'm not buying.
I mean, it's kind of hard to sell a coconut that doesn't have any juice. Yeah.
I've never heard that one. I've never heard that. Also, wait a second. I mean this with all due respect. You're from Iceland, right?
Yeah.
How is that a saying in Iceland? Because
Do you
you've
even
never
know
seen
what
a
a
coconut
is?
What? I totally do. I totally do.
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's definitely not a saying in Iceland, but it gets my point across, I think.
No, it does.
It does. It's a great saying. Okay,
Yeah.
so Keybine's not going to sell me on New World. I will make this solemn swear right here on All Offense Intended, very first episode ever. I am going to find someone to have them be a guest on this show to attempt to sell me New World. At some point, we're going to make it happen. We are going to make it happen. Okay, so New World is out. We're done with the New World conversation. Let's talk a little bit about Lost Ark. That's something that we wanted to bring up last week, and the show kind of just got away from us, and we never actually talked about Lost Ark. So Tin Man has some thoughts on it. I really don't have many thoughts on it other than just reactions to what you guys are saying. But from what I understand, Keybind, and just from paying attention to your streaming, like you've streamed a lot of hours of Lost Ark. Are you into this game?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, it's like Diablo and League of Legends had a baby, and it turned out to be an MMO. It's kind of interesting, you know.
That's a cool
Diablo and League of Legends.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like it's already an esport in Korea.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like it's yeah. I mean it's really good. I'm a little worried that like the Western world is gonna perceive it as a huge pay to win.
Okay.
But then that's something I wanted to talk about here on the stream as well. It's what is pay to win.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be like shipping Lost Ark much. I just want to have like a general conversation about what's pay to win because I like Lost Ark so much. But you can literally buy anything for real life money in the game, except for PvP. PvP is completely normalized, which is why it's an actual esport. You know?
Okay.
So, but like everything else you can buy. It's
Interesting.
So is the gear crafted and therefore you can, and all of it just tradable so everyone can just buy it? Or is the gear the same level like Ashes is trying to plan to do, at least to some extent, where it's going to be about the same level as the gear that you can craft versus the gear that you can get in dungeons and raids? How's it actually set up in game? And how can you buy all the gear in Lost Ark?
Well, I have no idea how it works in Lost Ark. No, sorry. I thought you said New World there. No, I don't know anything about gear in New World, but yeah, in Lost Ark, I've been playing for a few days and like looking into it. And today I kind of just did a post-mortem on the cash shop and the auction house, and I just realized that you can't buy anything you want from the auction house. And yes, crafted items are on the auction house, and yes, they are as good as the end game gear. But even if there aren't crafted items in the auction house, it's really easy to get the highest level gear because gear doesn't really matter in the game. Like you can get the highest level gear through solo content, and then you can just buy your way to the top of the highest rated gear.
Okay, so for PvE content in the game, do people go in for the challenge instead of the gear, or for cosmetics that you can get from it? Like, let's just take gear out of the equation in PvE.
Yeah.
Let's just say everybody had insane gear. You could just buy whatever gear you wanted. Yeah. Why do people do PvE in Lost Ark, or why is it successful? Do you think?
Well, this is. I'm going to go on a little bit of a monologue here for a few minutes, but this is something I really had to think about because I was sitting there looking at this cash shop, and I had such conflicting feelings. Like, I love the game. I love the PvP and the PvE. Like, it's fun, it's challenging, and it's like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. You know, I always loved Diablo, but they fucked that up. But then I always loved League of Legends, but you never really have any kind of character progression. You just have an account, and then you play a 40-minute game where that ramps up really slowly, and it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. So I started looking into this, and I started thinking about, like, okay, why are people complaining about pay to win, right? Like, you can complain about being world first, but to be honest, being world first at something is basically pay to win. All the big guilds, they spend real life money to buy crafted items and whatever they do. So it's about boasting, right? It's like you want to show off that new piece of armor or whatever you got, right?
Right.
That gear, you get new gear, like, oh, check out my piece of gear. It has like 1500 strength or whatever, right? And then who are you boasting for? Or maybe it's an achievement, right? So then you got to start thinking about, who is it for? Is it for yourself or is it for others? Because if you do an achievement or something for yourself only because you want to do it, then having it for sale actually increases its value to you, because there wouldn't be a market to sell it if it wasn't hard, right? But if you're boasting for others, that is kind of dead as well, because we've known, at least I've known since Classic WoW, that you can buy anything in a computer game. You can both buy items and gold, or you can pay someone in China to play your account for you.
Right.
So it's like the only thing that isn't really pay to win in computer games at any level is your personal skill. That's the only thing you can't buy.
That's so interesting. So you're essentially saying like though Classic WoW, like some people would be like, well, that's not pay to win. You're just saying like, well, if you want it to be, you can make it pay to win. And they didn't do a good job of stopping that either, right? We know that from just modding and yeah.
I mean, it's been since when I played Classic, like 2006 or something. I saw multiple websites selling rank 14, which was supposed to be the hardest thing in the game. Someone would just play your character to rank 14.
Right.
And it's like, so like you don't even have to play your account. And it's still like that. And I did a little digging, and I found a website today that literally sells items, achievements, and gold for over 200 different computer games.
Right.
So I started, you know, I always thought pay to win. Okay, if you can get the best gear in the game, it's pay to win. But it, like, can you say that when the best players in the world are already doing it? Like, anytime they have a chance to use real life money to get ahead, they do it. It's known. Like, everyone knows this. So why are we under a different? Like, why is it different for us, right? Because in the end, it's skill. What's the best player's skill? And you say, it doesn't matter if they buy the equipment, it's about skill. Right?
That's such an interesting take. So you're like, though people could, you're worried like when Lost Ark comes to the West, people will be like, oh, it's a Korean pay to win MMO. We're not going to play it. But you're just saying like, well, every game you're playing is basically pay to win.
Every game you're playing is pay to win.
Oh, that's depressing, Keith. Thank you. No, thanks for that.
Thanks for
comedy show.
Video games for everyone listening. Good
job.
No.
The point is not talking about Lost Ark in general or New World or anything. The point I'm trying to make is that the real value that you get out of a computer game is the skill that you can show off when you're playing the game with your friends and your guildmates. Like, if someone can buy some piece of gear that's some dude in a different guild, like, it doesn't matter. Because you're not trying to impress some John Doe on the street. You're trying to impress your friends, whether it's your skill or your gear or whatever, right? And if you're not trying to impress your friends, which are the people that know that you worked hard to do the stuff that you're doing, anyone else that doesn't know you is probably just going to think you bought it anyway. So
I have a question for you. Do you think the technology exists for Steven and Intrepid Studios to actually stop people from doing that, to make this different than the 200 other games?
No.
Right. So why are we worried if it's pay to win or not all the time? That's, I mean, I know people would be like rage and be like, but he promised he wouldn't do it. Obviously,
so let me jump in here, because Keybind is making a good point in a very specific set of circumstances. In this particular set of circumstances, Lost Ark has effectively, and I don't know the mechanics by which they've done this. I'm just taking your word for it here. That they have effectively split PvE and PvP combat. They are not related to one another. You can't do anything with real money to make yourself better in the PvP version of the game. And so all you're really doing is buying the best gear so that you can do the hardest PvE content in the game. And from that perspective, I totally see what he's saying. Like, what does it matter if you bought it or it doesn't matter, because even if you buy all the highest end gear, if you don't have the skill, you can't do the hard raids. The only thing you could do is pay somebody to get you the achievement for the hard raids. You still can't do the hard raids. You're still not good enough. Whereas from the PvP perspective, and that's when you talk about Ashes, that's where people are concerned, is people buying all the top end gear and then being able to beat them in PvP with it, because those two are mixed with one another. And that's why they would be concerned about it.
Yeah. No, I know, I completely agree, because of the way they've done it with Lost Ark is to make it an esport, and in this game it's so integrated. Every server will have different gear, and PvP will look different because of that on different servers. So that's not going to be something that Ashes will be able to do. No,
Lost Ark is actually normalized, completely normalized.
Right, for PvP.
So, for PvP.
Right.
And
okay, so there's no gear advantages.
No. But it's PvE. In PvE, there's a huge advantage because you can't just buy the best gear. You don't actually need to do the raids, right?
I have an interesting question then. When you jump into arenas or battlegrounds in Ashes of Creation, again, I'm thinking of these questions off the fly. I love this conversation. Do you think they should normalize it to be able to make it an esport?
Yeah.
Mind?
Yeah. Because it's the only way that you can definitively say that there is no pay to win in the game.
Holy.
Because people complain about pay to win because they say, oh, someone's better than me. They destroyed me in PvP. Oh, they probably just paid for all the best shit and they destroy me. Like, when I hear people say pay to win, they're most of the time using it as an excuse for something.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think having PvP in a way where it's completely outside of the PvE factor, at least like the arenas and the battlegrounds, it basically takes your argument of pay to win kind of out of it. Like, someone paid to get into a better dungeon or have better gear, but ultimately I say, it doesn't matter. Like, if I see these days, if I see someone with a title in a computer game, I say, prove it. Let's go to that raid. Let's clear the raid, right? If you're gonna boast about having something or whatever, words don't mean anything. Actions mean something, right?
Yeah. No, it's a really good conversation. See, for me personally, when I think of pay to win, for example, in New World, they basically announced that they're going to have experience boost. You can buy experience boost from the cash shop or whatever. And Steven got in trouble because he basically railed on him on Twitter, just immediately went into the pay to win stuff. And me, I'm kind of so you can level faster and get to end game faster.
New World is a bit different though.
That's pay for convenience. It's not pay to win. You're just going to get to max level faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but New World is kind of it's almost like a forced open world kind of PvP. So I mean, I guess experience is maybe not pay to win, but I know one thing that's going to be pay to win in New World, and it's going to be heavy pay to win. That's teleportation.
The travel, yes. No, there's no question that the travel is, and that's what I was about to get to, is that what people really, really don't like is pay for convenience. Or what I say is they bake a quality of life issue into the game and then sell you the solution to that issue. Bag space is a good example. Oh, there's no bag space. You start off with only 5 bag slots, and the only way to get more is either grind for 40 hours to get the materials to make better bags, or give us $12. You know what I mean? And I think people actually hate that more than the actual buying of gear, because you're right. In general, if the gear doesn't help you in PvP, then who gives a crap? And if it helps you raid, like as a hardcore raider myself, I know you still got to have the skill. I know, so Star Wars: The Old Republic put a system into place where everybody's running around with max level gear. Everybody, within 2 weeks of you hitting the level cap, and if you're not trying, you can have maxed out gear. You can do it in 2 days if you're trying. Now, do you have the skill to do all the hardcore PvE content on the hardest difficulties? Not very likely. So I wouldn't care if they're all running around in max level gear, because I know they don't have the skill to do what I can do. And then in PvP, everybody's using max level gear, so who gives a crap? But for me, it's all the fast travel, pay for convenience. Whereas with New World, that's not just pay for convenience; that's pay to get back there to defend your town faster, and those sorts of things. So then it actually is pay to win inside of pay for convenience. It's a very interesting conversation, and it drives me crazy. I feel like a lot of people don't know what pay to win means. Like they don't understand what it actually means to pay to win. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, you're right. And I just wanted to bring the point out for people to just really think about it in a way where what matters is that is your skill in the moment when you're playing with your friends. Doesn't matter if some random dude has the best gear that you're literally probably never going to see again. You walk past him and it's like, oh, look at that awesome weapon. Like, oh, you probably bought that shit. Like, who cares? Go play with your friends and have fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This makes me. We've talked about this a little bit, even on the last episode. But Key, I'd love, because of this conversation and because of you've really thought about it. And I can there's a lot of thinking that's gone into this argument, and it's already instantly. I'm like, oh my god, 200 games are just pay to win that I don't think they are. So I'm dealing with that over here emotionally. But the $15 a month versus New World not having a charge each month once you own the game. When it comes to which would you rather have? Because what you're saying is that we've made the argument before that one leads right towards pay to win, where you don't have a monthly charge. That's why we see games either that are completely free, or that like New World's doing doesn't have that $15 a month charge, or like Ashes is doing, which has a monthly fee. Which one would you like to see Ashes have? And does it matter now with what you've just said about pay to win for you? Like, would it upset you if they move to more of a pay to win model? Would you still play Ashes of Creation? Would you rather it not have a $15 charge a month if they did?
I think Ashes has already put its back up against the wall on this topic, and I think it's more about integrity rather than the actual situation for Ashes. I would not mind if there would be a bunch of different options that would get you some maybe convenience in Ashes, right? But I think they're already going to do a good job on like the items. They said there's only 20 people that are maybe going to have a flying mount on each server. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you're talking about not having pay to win, I mean that's really rare. 20 people out of thousands, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if they follow that trend, and there's going to be things that you just can't acquire even if you want it, I think that's going to be fine. And I just think Ashes is going to be very different because of the whole open world concept and how things develop. Like, there's not going to be a set formula to how you get your gear or how you progress your character. So everyone is just going to have to feel it out for themselves, talk to the people on their server about what's going on, and I just hope they normalize the PvP so that it can maybe be an esport. Because I think esports are what actually keep games alive.
There are a lot of esports that are keeping the games alive for sure. I do want to jump in here and pick some of these comments out of the chat, because there was so much good stuff that was going on in the chat. Randall said that he would sell New World to me for $30 and $40 for the premium version, which I thought was pretty funny comment. And let's see what else was in here. Emo says because it makes it drastically easier and more accessible. Almost no one goes and hires someone from China or India to play their account. There's a lot of truth in that. Like the people who are the percentage of people who are using these pay to win methods, even when they're available, are it's pretty small. It's not really just a whole lot. Randall said, I just realized we need to add puns to comments and Zillen won't be looking for them. I'm always looking for them, Randall. And I saw yours and I see what you did there. And I didn't want you to feel like your pun was ignored. I saw it. I'm just not. We're not playing that game. Dante, who always comes in with the timely and very accurate comment, says gear. I'm talking about ashes. I'm assuming gear will only contribute to 50% of your character's power in ashes. So if the variation between the player's mechanical skill and knowledge is higher than the gear, people with higher gear lose. To a certain degree. I mean, it depends on how much discrepancy there is in the power of the gear. Randall says they removed experience boost from New World. If that stays, I'll be shocked. Dante says Farmville was the OG pay to win. That's true. That is true.
Ben also said something earlier that I had written down to say last week when the news was fresh, but something else just because we've been talking about New World and Lost Ark so much, and Ben noted this. It's Amazon considering Lost Ark, I guess, a threat in a conflict of interest, just decided, even though the game is ready, that they're not going to be launching the game in the West until next year, even though everyone was really excited and thought it was going to be coming out this year. I do think that, not only did Ben write that in the chat tonight, but that was something I wanted to talk about last week, Key. The game is ready to go, right? It's been rocking and rolling since 2018 in Korea. And it's working for you, right? I mean, there's nothing that. Why do you think Amazon held the game back? Besides,
I have two ideas, and they might both be wrong, but they might both also be right. So the first thing I noticed is that when you move a game like this to a different region, obviously you need to translate everything. So. And not just translations, but voice acting. And I noticed that every fucking character in the game has has voice acting, right? So they probably had to hire at least 100 voice actors or something, or at least a lot of people with variety in their voice to do different characters. And there's a lot of lines. Not just that, but they decided to cherry pick which classes we would get. So they had to They had to actually change code as well. And as a kind of like a developer, when you launch something in Russia or Asia, there's different networking things that you need to think about, because the internet is late. There's not really a direct connection. The internet is different when it goes across the ocean, and you have to think about latencies and server farms, and there's a lot of testing. And so one thing is the development. They said that they weren't ready. And I kind of believe that, but the other thing that I think is more likely is they realized that New World was coming out, and they probably sat down and thought, okay, how can we maximize return of interest on these games? Well, we can just kind of calculate how long it would take people to get bored of New World, and that's when we release Lost Ark. Right. And I think that's probably the most likely by the time when Lost Ark is coming out, that's probably about the time where you're going to be capped on endgame in New World.
Right.
Yeah. I'm knowing Amazon and how they work. That's probably it.
Right. Yeah. That was Tin Man's speculation last week. Was it's localization. There's no development. There's no bug fixing. One of the things they said was fixing bugs. There's no bug fixing and localization. But of course, I knew that there was, like you said, the internet systems are different. And so you have to do some of that. And anytime you're playing with the code in a game, there can be bugs. That's just simple. It's just simple as that. There can be bugs. So you have to kind of do some of that. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting topic.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it is financially probably the smartest thing for them to do, right? Launch New World, then launch Lost Ark, and then add maybe during the time that Lost Ark is out in hype, maybe they could add like mounts and raids to New World. Maybe just a couple of new additions. Just off the top of my head, I don't know what I was thinking. It's just some things I've thought maybe that should exist in MMORPG.
I can promise you, this is I'm going to call it right now. You are going to have rotating release cycles on content between New World and Lost Ark.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
Right?
Forever.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
They're never going to coincide with each other. Never. Mm-hmm. It will never happen.
100%. I completely agree with you, sir. So, Keybind, you want to let everybody know what where they can find you. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Keybind Gaming, one word, on everything.
On everything. Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube.
I'll just type in the chat. Just Keybind Gaming on everything. YouTube. I think I researched everything, like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like you name it.
Perfect.
Hey, one thing before we stop, I noticed that Rantal had a question that I wanna answer.
Absolutely.
I don't want to leave him hanging, poor guy. So he says, do you think Steven will allow players to buy resetting primary classes later in the game? It would be considered pay to win. No. Steven has been really hard on the fact that he likes the role-playing aspect of you being a certain class. I would think that it would go against everything that he's saying, like in most of his interviews, and probably against his core philosophy. So I do not think that he will do that. I think he will keep gaming bind. Thanks, Dante. Okay, so yeah, I don't think he'll do that. I don't think you need to worry about that.
Good, perfect. All right, well, we thank you so much for coming on the show, Keybind. We really appreciate it. We'd love to have you back on, especially if you have some more hot takes like everybody's wrong about pay to win.
Everyone in the world is wrong about pay to win. Keybind Gaming has broken this story. Y'all, get ready. The biggest news tomorrow morning.
Oh my god. Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Yeah, yes sir. Have a good one, man. Thank you.
Bye.
See you, bud.
Oh my goodness, it's always good to have Keybind on. He's always fun to have conversations with. The pay to win conversation was really interesting.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't realize you were playing that song as you were like sending him out, and I could hear my voice, and I was just like, "Oh no, I'm echoing somewhere." And I was like trying to make sure I was like muted. I was like, as you were saying goodbye to him, I was like, "Oh no, oh no," and I just realized that it was we were playing the My Stream song off.
The My Stream song, right? Well, I thought, I wonder if I can play this and turn the volume down live in OBS so that it can like be in the background as like a send-off song. Ariamano says Key is handsome like some sort of Scandinavian prince, and then Keybind responds, I am a Scandinavian. So so there you go on that. So we promised Super that his segment was coming up here real soon. This is a little segment that we call the Streamer Shout Out of the Week, where we shout out to you guys someone who is big in the streaming world, who is usually a personal friend of ours. So what do we got this week, Tim?
Yeah, the big streamer shout out of the week. It was Bartik last week, so I think I'd stick to those two guys in a bard. Maybe we'll do Fane next week. Oh, little spoiler alert. But anyways, I worked so hard on this, Super. As you can see, those are little hearts because I love you. There's just Super's such a lovely, wonderful human being. And our shout out of the week goes out to Super. We love you, Super. And we just, you're a nice guy and all, but really it's your beard. Okay. We all know it. We're all staring at it. It's very large. It's right there. We're just, oh, wow. There it is. Right. Very manly. It's so beautiful. I just want to build a winter cottage in it. I just want to use it as a blankie to go to sleep at night. It's just so long and thick. Super and Super's beard, everybody. Do we have any do you have the picture ready as well, Zolan?
Well, you've already ruined it. I just wanted to let everybody know, just so you guys know, big Super fans out there, this is kind of one of those I'm letting the cat out of the bag just a little bit. Super's going to be leaving streaming. Super is moving on. He has been hired by the Got to Be Glued hair glue company
That's right.
for beard maintenance. He is going to be a spokesperson and a model. Obviously, with looks like that, you're automatically going to be a model. So go watch your super streams now while you can, because before long, he'll be out of here and he'll be modeling Got to Be Glued, the hair product for beards.
Got to Be Glued. Yes. Got to Be Glued. They pay big money to Super. He's not going to be streaming on Twitch anymore. It's a non-compete. Not that their company streams. I don't know why he signed that non-compete, but he was telling us about it off stream, of course. And we're going to miss you, Super. But we love you.
Super says, "Yo, that is NDA. Shh, don't tell anybody." Sorry, Super. We let the cat out of the bag, man. I got my little word coming in from the back that that's how things were going to go, and I knew you were going to be bailing out, and we wanted to make sure that your fans got to go watch your streams. Super TCG on Twitch. Go hang out with him while you can before he goes and leaves to become a model.
Super TCG. God, he's so hot. Am I allowed to say that? I'm not afraid. All offense intended. All offense intended. He is very hot, and I'm not afraid to say it.
He is very hot. He is very hot. So. Let us do. Let's talk about something we've never talked about on this show before. Let's talk about survival games.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought you were going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. That is exactly what I was going to say.
I don't believe you.
Survival games, y'all. I mean, look at me. Well, I thought you were going to talk about
breaks. Back up. Back up. What?
No, I mean, it's the beginning of fall. It's been so beautiful out. It was 77 and breezy and sunny here in northern Tennessee today. And I thought you were going to say the new Reese's pumpkins are out. You can get them at HEB for you or Kroger for me. You that's what I thought we were going to talk about, because we've never talked about them before, and I just love them. There's just something really special about Reese's pumpkins. God. They're just amazing. I like the way they melt in my mouth. It's a perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. God, these are just amazing.
Are you done?
Oh, y'all.
Are you done?
He's a little pumpkin. He's so cute. It kind of looks like a turd, but it's actually a pumpkin.
It looks remarkably like a turd. So this is actually a really big week for survival games. I don't know survival words or survival games in 2 words. I'm hungry, says Randall Pinker. And yes, that's true. In general, you're constantly hungry in those games. It's pretty ridiculous how hungry they are. But anyways, huge week in the survival game world. I am a survival game fan. I love that style of game. I've been a big fan of it for a very, very long time. And there was earlier on this year, there was a smash hit out of absolutely nowhere survival game that everybody played. And of course, that was Valheim. And it seems like almost everybody I know lost a month to that game. Like they just played the crap out of it for an entire month. And then, of course, you hit the end and you're like, oh, God, we're done. And then you find out, oh, well, there's going to be more coming down the line and, updates and all that stuff. And the very first update for Valheim, called Hearth and Home, is out. It came out, I believe, yesterday, possibly the day before. It features a weapon rebalance. So there is going to be they went in and changed a lot of the weapons and the way they work to make it where they were a little bit different from one another and hopefully stand out from one another, and hopefully that people will use more types of weapons. They also put in an auto loot feature, so you will automatically pick up on the ground from everything that you, like when you kill what are they called, the gray dwarfs or something? Gray dwarf? I think that's what they were called. And then their eyes scattered everywhere. Now you'll auto loot them. Previously, you could tame the Lox, which is the big, huge bison-looking creature, but there was no benefit to doing so. They've added in a benefit to doing so, although they didn't clarify what it was. They reworked food to make it where it's more of a choice. So stamina, there's foods that give you a lot more stamina and a lot less health, or foods that give you a lot more health and a lot more stamina, to make you choose between having them instead of just there being just better food, and the better food gives you lots of stamina and health to kind of give you a choice between that. How you want to play the game. And they also hinted that there are things in the game that that are not in the patch notes. Go find them. So lots of new things. Did you play Valheim?
Yeah, I played. It was actually kind of crazy. We had like I was with a group of friends, and somebody bought it like really the first day, and then they were like, "Hey, this is good," and then we like all started playing it, and like I swear I played it for like a couple of hours, and then I was like, I was like, I wonder if anyone else is playing this on Twitch, which must have been so many people's like in the first days, as it just obviously just everybody's friend was like, "Hey, I'm playing this game. I just found out about it. You should play with me." And I was like, "Oh, there's just the whole world playing it." So that was such a fun experience, especially because I don't play a lot of survival games, but I have been getting into them more. And Valheim was wonderful. I actually think for the locks, the that you're going to be able to use it as a mount in home and Hearth and Home. Hearth and Home. Is that the name of the update? Did I just say that wrong?
Hearth and Home is the name of the update.
Oh yeah, Hearth and Home. So essentially Valheim as a 5-person team is going to have mounts before Amazon has mounts. So yeah, Valheim. If you're interested in playing an MMO, go play the new Valheim. It's coming out September 28th. It's called Valheim. No, they are gonna really are gonna have mounts in this game before New World, which is crazy to me. But so much is happening with Valheim. There's the Mists, Mistmire, I forget what they're going to call it, the Veiled Mists. I forget what they've got planned. They've got these more extra zones, more bosses. There's going to be this new tar system that's coming out where you can kill these like black slimes that are guarding tar pits and then drain those tar pits to get new material. So they've got all kinds of new things that they're doing in the game now, and this is real. I was actually thought you were going to bring this up, and thank you for saving it for me. Actually, hot tubs, and I saw this, and I swear I thought it was a troll. There's also trolls in Valheim. That's a different thing. But for real, there are hot tubs now in Valheim. So if you like hot tub streamers and you like survival games, go check out Valheim. It's going to be great. It's going to be an absolute blast to watch Amarath in Valheim.
In a hot tub.
Dylan, what does this world come to? Valheim was a beautiful game.
Simply
you come flying in on a bird of large scale that's got you clutched. It's so far away from reality, It's so far away from all the stuff that wears us down every day. And then they put hot tubs in it. They put hot tubs in the game today.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. I'm all over it. I love it. Simply Josh says I started playing Valheim about a week ago, and I'm absolutely hooked. But there's some repetitive content in it. Updates were very nice though. And yes, there's definitely repetitive content, and they need to finish out those other zones, and those other zones need to get really difficult. The gap between the swamps and the plains was pretty massive. But when you get to the plains, the game gets tough, and the game needs to continue getting tougher from there on to make the game really hard, so that there's a lot of time to be spent in some of those future zones. He says, "I love built in the game. Second it released, we'll send pics to your DMs. Tennman and my character in it."
No, I loved that game, and I had to uninstall it, of course, when I found out about the hot tubs. And my crusade to get hot tub streaming removed from Twitch continues. And if you're streaming in the Valheim category, you're basically a hot tub streamer now. So
you are. Wow. That is a hot take that I was not expecting today. So also in the world of survival games today, or I believe yesterday, maybe the day before, Medieval Dynasty launched or announced that they are coming out of early access. So they're going to officially launch, which in my opinion, anytime a survival game announces they're coming out of early access, that's a huge deal, because survival games don't ever fucking come out of early access.
Yeah.
So that's a huge deal for the game. And they actually, there's like going to be a bunch of new story, and they've added bandits to the game and all that sort of thing. Medieval Dynasty is a little bit like it's blurring the lines of what exactly a survival game is, because it's more like a city settlement management with survival mixed in. It's a really fun game. Go check it out. Coming out of early access, and To me, that's a really big deal.
And that's crazy. You know, it's true. I mean, so few survival games seem to ever leave early access, and because they're leaving early access, they have to change their name to Industrial Revolution Dynasty.
Oh, Renaissance Dynasty. You're an idiot. I want you to know that. I hope you realize that. And the last thing, I do want to talk just a little bit about Icarus. Icarus is flying a little bit under the radar right now. It is a a survival game that is attempting to solve the key problem that survival games have. There is a problem that survival games have that is known in the development world as the day 2 problem. And it basically, every survival game ever deals with this. And that is essentially, you're working your butt off to survive the first night, to get shelter, to get food, etc. And then the day 2 gets easier. And then now they've learned how to push that and make it like the week 2 problem. But you still hit a point where you have everything's easy for you to get. You have all the best tools. And if why log in today? Like I'm just going to run. It's like chores. Like the game, it's basically a list of chores that you do. I got to go over there, get this, make that, and it's just daily chores. And they've tried a bunch of different ways to solve this. And generally the most successful way to solve it has been just to make, have PvP be in the game. And so you're fighting one another over territory. But of course, as soon as you do that, like for example, on Ark, on all of the official servers, there's one guild who's so big, you can't even put a little shanty on a beach without them coming and tearing it down. You are forced to either join the big guild or join all the small guilds that are fighting against the big guild. And it's not very much fun. And so even that has a short shelf life. And Icarus is attempting to solve the day 2 problem by soft resetting you with a story-based reason. So the story of the game is essentially they found a planet. The planet's called Icarus. It was a near-Earth planet. It was close to being like Earth, and we sent terraformers there, some type of a terraforming bomb or something, to go terraform that planet, to turn it into a planet that we could live on. And it went wrong, and it went bad, and we can't live there, and it's toxic, and everything's poison, etc. But there's this rare material there that if we could get it, you can do all kinds of powerful things with it. And so you go down in what's a session-based, a time-based session. So you choose the difficulty level and how long you're going to be there in real time. So real time, hours, days, weeks, whatever. And you have to get back to your launch pod and launch out of there before that time ends, because when that time ends is basically like when that area gets swept through with whatever it is that wipes out the area, and nothing lives, survives. And so you're trying to get that rare material and take it up to the ship. And then every time you go do a new session, you can buy better materials to start with the next time you go down, but you do start from essentially 0 every time. So it's a different attempt at an end round around the day 2 problem, which I find very, very interesting.
It really excites me.
It's kind of fun.
Well, that's the thing too. If I had friends that started I was playing Valheim pretty slowly, and then there were friends that were playing it a lot faster than I was, and then they're so far ahead, and they have such a giant base. It's they want to just give you a bunch of stuff and help you catch up, but it's oh well, you also want to play the game for yourself. So right. I remember wanting to play with a different group of friends, but they were going so hard that they were already on to boss 3, boss 4, and we were just killing the second boss. So they have all this extra better gear. They've gone into essentially so much further into the game that the earlier stuff is obviously a lot easier. So yeah, and their bases were so giant. I was oh man, I'm actually not going to play on this server because I want to make sure that I felt like I couldn't play with them. So I think this solves a lot of problems. It also solves people that want to join with your friends. Say you start playing, and then a couple weeks later, your friends been watching you, or somebody in the community has been watching you while you've been streaming at Zillion.
Right.
Then they can join in on the next time y'all go down.
Right.
They can join in when we all go down with you. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to make that work. But you know what I mean. I didn't mean it.
I was trying to figure out if you were doing it on purpose or not.
I wasn't doing it on purpose, and then I was oh my God, I should be doing this on purpose. No. But for real, like, I mean, I want to go down with you, Zillan. I just want to go down with you all the time. And that's my goal. And that's why I'm so excited about Icarus. I can't wait to just, just constantly. I can't. I'm sorry.
Do you realize the ridiculously wholesome thing we have coming up next? Like, it's going to be such a dichotomy between what just happened versus what's coming up next on the show. You guys,
I didn't mean to start this. I had real points. I had some good points on Icarus. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm gonna be. I don't play a lot of survival games, but I'm gonna be playing this game with you and with other members of your community.
Mm-hmm.
Been hanging out with people in the Discord. It's been an absolute blast. Just talking about different roles we want to fill, what we want to do together. All the dreams we have of the things we want to do together. So. Yeah, that's it. Icarus coming out November 20th, and there's a bunch of beta weekends every other weekend.
Every other weekend,
and you and I are gonna hang out and play a bunch of Icarus. So I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Just real quick little shout out. I believe in the description to this video there is a link to my Discord. Jump in and hang out with us. You get kind of behind the scenes on what's coming out on All Offense Intended or Voices of Verra every week, because we're in there and we're editing videos and stuff. And we're also putting together the little team that's going to go do the Icarus thing together and kind of organizing it. And I'm going to be covering it on my channel and all that. So if you want to be a part of that, come join the Discord, come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. So yeah. Before we bring on the next big surprise, we do have a Channel 10 news this week, and in service to what we were talking about earlier about the sneak peeks and all that, we showed this to a couple of members of the community, and the response that we got was, "That's too wholesome for your show." so with that in mind. Channel 10 news for the week, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Tennman with Channel 10 News, and I am here with my literal grandmother right now. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
That's awesome. So I talk about video games. You know I play a lot of video games.
Oh, I know. I got started. Yes, you do.
What are you talking about?
I mean, we had to sneak to Walmart to get the cards for Pac-Man or one of those.
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yes. Those were the days, back in the Pokemon card days.
Yes. You spent all your extra money, which you didn't have, on Pokemon cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to catch them all.
I know, you were found and determined.
I was determined to catch them all. So what kind of games in your life do you like playing?
Well, as I said, I like Crazy Eights. Very easy, but you can make it complicated.
Oh, with a deck of 52
and
cards.
I really like Trouble.
Trouble? you like getting in trouble?
Yeah.
What kind of trouble?
Well, I like the game Trouble.
Oh, okay. What's the game Trouble?
Well, the game Trouble is easy. You have these 4 guys that are supposed to run around and you pop the middle and it goes up and then takes that many.
Pop.
Yeah, you pop the bubble.
Pop it.
Yeah.
Pull it.
I win too.
Wait, so before I wanted to ask you about the new upcoming MMORPG called New World from Amazon Game Studios. What do you think of that game?
What's an MRUG or whatever you said?
MMORPG, a massive multi-playing online role-playing game.
Oh my word, I can't remember the name of it, let alone.
Well, let's just focus on
about New World.
Yeah, what do you think of the New World?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. Is it any good?
Oh, do you like horses?
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any of those.
Oh well, I tried.
Yeah. Do you like teaming up with large groups of friends to go do things?
Yeah.
They don't have that either.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from New World because there's not a lot to talk about there. What about the new upcoming MMORPG, Ashes of Creation?
Is that a game?
It's going to be a game, Ashes of Creation. What are your first thoughts?
My first thought is that ashes are not used for creation.
What are they used for?
Well, burying people for one thing.
So the opposite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it doesn't make a bit of sense.
It already doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, the game literally doesn't make sense.
Not at all. I don't
Oh,
think.
well, what do you think of the corruption system? What do you think of corruption as a whole?
Well, I know one man that I really don't like. And then there's always corruption in politics. So, I mean, I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah, corruption, it's all over our world. Might as well be all over the world of Verra.
Is that the new world?
That's the world of ashes of creation.
Oh, that's
Which
right.
is also a new world, though. It's also a new world. Any last thoughts on online gaming before we go?
Well, it's a lot more complicated than I thought because my grandson does it. Well, you know that. And he's got 4 or 5 pages. Look, at the same time he's watching this and that and talking to people. It's amazing.
Yeah, lots can be going on. You can be on Discord talking to your friends. You got to check all the different, all your screens. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm amazed. It takes a lot of intelligent people to use it.
Oh, well, thank you. Anything you want to say to Channel 10 News about your grandson specifically?
Well, whatever he's thinking of, it's got to be something neat because he's a real creative thinker. So I suggest you look into this Ashes of the New World.
Ashes of the New World. You heard it here first. Zillin, back to you.
The fearless reporting from our Channel 10 News staff is just incredible. And we thank them for everything they do to make sure that we have, we're stay up to date on everything that's going on in the world out here. So
staying out there, reporting the news. That woman was not actually our reporter's grandmother. It was a random woman that was just walking aimlessly on the street. After that interview, we got her back to her home. She is safe. That is what is important. When we bring you the news, we ask the people what they think, and we really get to the bottom of stories here at Channel 10 News. To everybody, to the camera crew, to everybody that works behind the scenes, thank you. Channel 10 News, everyone. Ashes of the New World.
Ashes of the New World. This the hot new game, the new hotness, as they would say. But speaking of the people and the man of the people, we mentioned earlier that maybe in a future episode, we might be able to maybe have multiple guests in one episode. Well, I fooled you. We have multiple guests this episode, and we told you guys that Voices of Verra was going to become a segment on All Offense Intended. So welcome in, everybody, Benza on Voices of Verra. My goodness, Benza, you're looking kind of rough there, buddy.
Hey, Ben.
God, we caught him. Ben.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Oh, yo,
Hey.
what's up? Hey, yeah, I kind of passed out there. I was a little bored. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just got off 2 neckbeards and a bard earlier. Fuck, man.
I'm sorry, did you say 2
Yeah,
neckbeards
so
and a bard?
we kept drinking for 2 days straight after the show. I think their juices from their neckbeards infused into my soul, and it created this beard. And I took a big damage pill at the same time, and it fucking, goddamn it. Sorry.
You got to be careful, man. You can't take too many of these things.
My skills with ladies has gone through the roof, by the way. My odor is magnificent, by the way, as well. But anyway, show was great. I did everything. They didn't do anything. They were boring as fuck. It went way too long.
Yeah, that happens on that show. It's way too long. 2 hours.
And a guy from Colorado.
Yeah. My opinions are all correct now, but let's go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's good, man. Let me ask something. Did you? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. Were you heavily involved in the streaming of Ashes of Creation during the whole Alpha 1 process?
Oh wait, hold on. How do I get rid of this beard, guys? How do I do it?
Well, if you're looking for big damage shaving cream,
that's what I need. Okay, I need that. I can't get into this. Can I? Here, give me that real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead and take that right there.
All right, thank you. Hold up, guys. Hold up. 1 second.
Whoa, look at him!
Wow!
There we go. It works, dude. Yo. Yeah,
damn
I do PvP, by the way. But yeah, big damage works, guys. 10% off, I think. I believe I'll up it up to 15% for you guys. No big deal. I can tell you right now it works. Look at all this magnificence was gone. But anyway. But yeah, I streamed quite a bit of the Alpha 1. I could say I probably was one of those people that stuck through it to the end, even though it was pretty difficult at times. I would say that it was really fun in the beginning. Great game to play. It was exciting. There was a major hype train for it, as we all saw. And, slowly, as you run out of content, it gets more difficult. But I still think I still miss the game to this point, actually. There's times where I wish I could just log on to the Intrepid launcher.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I definitely feel that. There's definitely been several times where I'm like, man, I'd totally just fire up a game of Ashes right now if they'd let me in on the servers. That's pretty funny. So one of the topics that's kind of been floating around amongst several people in the community is kind of the idea of like, did Intrepid really nail it with Ashes of Creation? Like, did they hit the nail right on the head with the Alpha 1? Was the Alpha 1 what you expected it to be, maybe all it could have been? Do you think that Intrepid comes away? Two questions. Do you think that Intrepid comes away saying we killed that, or do you think that the community that plans to play the game in the future came away going, hey, they killed that, and I can't wait for that?
So to be honest with you, I thought they were going to do a lot worse because of what was available and doing previous testing as well. I wasn't expecting it to have such a good reception initially. I actually was one of the people who was kind of worried about it more than others and thinking that they should delay it. I don't think they nailed it on the head. I think they basically were able to get away by just skimming the surface for what the content they have and then just keeping people still interested, which I think they did okay with, but I don't think they capitalized on what they could have for the game. Specifically, if they had more replayable content. At one point at the initial start of the month-long test, it was up there in the hundreds of thousands with certain streamers in terms of people on the game. And I think they may not have been able to hold that the entire month long. However, if they did certain things, I think they could have done a better job in terms of keeping eyes on the game for a longer period of time. Because I think we dropped down to less than 1,000 viewers at some times.
Yeah, it got pretty low.
And even less than that,
Well, what do you think specifically they could have done to hold more of that interest?
So I don't know if they had the right time frame to make it happen, but in my opinion, if they would have created some replayable content with the sieges around bigger streamers where they could become mayors of the nodes, and then people could siege the nodes through the siege system and declare war on them and destroy their node, that would create a lot of drama between different streamers where they can declare war on each other. A siege happens, it goes down to 0. You have to start from scratch. They have to build up and then try and declare war back. I feel like that would have added a lot of replayability to the game and created a lot more excitement around the PvP side of the game for sieges, in my opinion.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Like if now, who knows if that system is even in the game, like if that was even an option for them to do. But it is a really good point. And I think it kind of makes an even broader point that they could have, or that not they could have, but in the future, that could be like the thing that makes Ashes really huge, is that the drama that is surrounding getting player killed, your node getting sieged and all of those things. Like, I've been saying for a while now that I think YouTube channels are going to pop up that like they're going to be Ashes of Creation drama coverage channels. I think that's what they're going to do. So that's a really good point that they could have maybe held more interest if they had opened up PvP. Tennman, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Warlord just said streamers declaring war, me eating popcorn. Yeah, that's a great point, Ben. I mean, just opening it up, hopefully even more in the Alpha 2, to just let us, as just different communities, challenge each other, test as much as we can, just timers in general for even like world bosses being really low, because the whole point is just to get as much testing in, getting even more siege tests in. No, I absolutely love it. I hope that there's an immense amount of drama. Player-created drama is how you create long-term longevity, so that because players have gotten so good at completing the content and completing it really quickly, that now by having the players drive it, they can like work on new expansions and new, whatever Steven and the whole team needs to do. But we can be sitting there PvPing each other and creating all this drama in the meantime.
Right. And then they also could have just had more quests or more ways to level up. Tennman, I believe that you had pointed out that even if they'd just had like a switch you could flip that just says, hey, I want to start at level 12 because level 12 is the level you had to be for sieges. Like then we would have had more sieges, more interest in the sieges, more people would have been sieging. And I think that would have been. Can you imagine the bonanza that would have been going on Twitch if all the different streamers were on different sides of all these sieges? People would be bouncing back and forth between all their streamers, like looking and seeing the strategies and stuff. It would have been bananas if they had done that.
It took a long time in the alpha to get to level 12. There weren't enough quests to get all the way there, or almost always you had to either grind out the last level or two, and essentially there was an opportunity to just have the like I'm level 12 or I'm level 15 button right there so that anybody who wanted to, or if they came in late into the alpha one or they were like busy the first couple of weeks of it and they just jump in late or they just haven't gotten to play a lot but they want to do the sieges, I think there just would have been way more people in the sieges, obviously, right? So yeah.
And kind of building off that, actually, one other thing that really I feel like messed up the flow of the month-long alpha is after your first day of the month-long, where people were excited to finally get to 15, grind to, basically get gear crafted through the system of the node system, which we were able to do at the very end of the test. But after your first day, they had to reset everybody's levels. I was one of those people who was, psychotic enough to level a character to level 15 4 different times during the test.
Oh my God.
And it was brutal. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I'm an MMO grinder myself. I think there should be some stick-to-itness for MMO players in general. But them resetting it was such even for me, it kind of killed my soul to have to go through the entire process again the next day.
That's crazy.
And
that must have turned off so many people from ever coming back or getting to level 12, right?
Yeah, and you could just notice it in your own guilds. Like you'll see half of your guildies actually coming back to play because of it, because they grinded to 15 and they want to go do all the boss content, but now they have to start all over again.
Yep. No, that killed me as well.
If they did add more quests, I think that would have easily fixed it, or just like maybe change the XP levels a bit, or maybe add a little bit more XP for quests. I know they did that right before the release. I think they added a bit more, which was great, but I think they needed just a bit more, in my opinion. Because I made like a quest guide, and you can do all the main quest line and do like quests on the way. And if you do it efficiently, you'll get to 10 and a half, and then you have to grind the last 4.5 levels, which is pretty brutal, just killing raptors over and over and over again.
Right.
But I think people would do it more if they had something to like build up towards. Like if they know there's a siege war coming up at the end of the week, they're going to grind that shit out and they're going to try and kill that streamer, or they're going to try and make their guild the top guild that's holding the node during the siege test. And then people will see that during the month-long alpha. They're going to come back after the alpha 1 ready for alpha 2. Like, this is fantastic. This is exciting. People are getting wrecked in PvP. All their shit's destroyed, and they have to rebuild everything. The whole meaning of the name Ashes of Creation gets exemplified in the test, which I really think they just missed that. I think maybe they would, to really accomplish that though, they probably would have had to delay another 2 months in my.
And we know by maybe they did, maybe we don't know internally, maybe they didn't have it ready at the beginning of Alpha 1, but you're right, on that second day when everything wiped, especially for everyone that went super hard, I wish that they had the ability to get level 12 or level 15 right then, because we know by the end of Alpha 1 they have the capability. Like for people, like at the very end, you could message in game and receive the level necessary to jump into the sieges, but that was at like the very the end
last
of
2
the
days.
Alpha 1, right? And if that had existed at the very beginning of the Alpha 1, and there were just more siege tests, and you're right, Ben, like just having the capability to do it on your own, or like not having nearly as long of a timer, so you can just kind of go into the next one, because the whole point is to test it, right? Like we want really long timers, obviously, for node and castle sieges, for world bosses, legendary world bosses, once the game comes out. But basically, what we can talk about now is essentially what we want for Alpha 2, where there's basically no cooldown, so we can just go into another siege and practice it and challenge guilds, challenge other streamers, challenge other communities. So yeah,
I want to throw out the idea that Intrepid did not botch Alpha 1. So maybe they see it as they haven't put any marketing into the game. They've spent no marketing money at all. I say that there's some speculation that like they were paying like Asmongold and whatever to play. Like he only played for one day and then went off to his other things. And it's like, but you know, there's no commercials. They're not putting any marketing money into it. They didn't even go to PAX West this year. Like there was an opportunity to do that and out there. And so what about the idea that they actually didn't want thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people watching this game that's a little buggy and you can fall through the world and combat is not what they even want it to be, let alone what everybody else wants it to be. And there's, you know, limited quests because they haven't, you know, they just hired a quest writer, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But, you know, what about the idea that they not only did they not botch it, they actually did exactly what they wanted to do. They did Alpha 1, which they promised the community that they were going to do. They built some hype for it from the hardcore people. The hardcore people got to see it. And it's like, we're even seeing that as content creators now, where there's very little interest in this game. It's not, it's like the people who saw in Alpha 1, the hardcore people were like, okay, I've seen what it has. I'm satisfied. I'm good. I don't need any more. And they're just waiting. You can barely get 500 views on an Ashes of Creation video on YouTube right now, where I was getting 2,000 with no problem before Alpha 1. So what about the idea that they didn't botch it? They did exactly what they were thinking.
Yeah, so I agree to you to a point. So like kind of like switching kind of the idea of they didn't get the nail on the head for the Alpha 1. I don't think they botched it. I actually do think they did their job. And I actually think you're correct. I think they were just trying to sweep it under the rug. We showed the Alpha 1 to everybody that wants to see it. Now we're just going to hide the game for like a year, which they should do in my opinion, or like 6 months or whatever the time frame is. And now we're just kind of waiting to see what they come up with for what Alpha 2 is actually going to be, you know, for the whole entire core concept of the game's potentially going to be in there. I think that's what they said. But I do think that they were trying to sweep it under the rug at the end there. So I think you're kind of right, actually. Now, did they capitalize on all the hype that was there initially? I still don't think they did, because there was quite a bit of hype, and there still is. And I think they kind of got foreshadowed by other games. There's a lot of different factors that went into it. You know, like New World was potentially going to be coming out, and everybody got excited about that. There was a closed beta, you know, halfway through the Alpha 1. I was playing Ashes for 8 hours and doing New World for 4 hours afterwards. But anyway,
that's hardcore.
You know, they were losing eyes to a lot of different things, and FF14's been jumping up in the charts in terms of like their player base and everything like that. Not trying to like push any games right now, just saying they had a lot of things not going well, like great for them during the Alpha 1, but I think they did do a sufficient job of keeping everything tight knit together and showing off the core concepts of the game and being very smart about it.
Yeah. I know Asmon only played one day. I don't think they pay. I mean, we don't know, right? I mean, my guess on that is that they didn't pay him. He would know that the Alpha 1 is what it is, and there's not a lot of content. It only goes level 15, and he wants to keep his viewers, you know, he moves to all kinds of different things.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and I would also say like, I've even heard Steven say, like, not that he's upset or doesn't mind the hype, but also managing it. And like that Lazy Peon video last, I think it was June or July of 2020, like that got insane buzz, got Lazy Peon a ton of new subscribers, and just the amount of reach that one video got, which he made unsponsored.
Right.
As he said at the beginning of that video, right? Like, and Steven not pay him to do it. That in itself too, where so many people also found the game through that is all like just community growth hype, not we're spending money hype. So yeah, I certainly think like if Steven had set out to make the Alpha 1, I would think like the amount of people that showed up and watched on that first day was more than I would have anticipated. And it's an Alpha 1, and I don't know if he would have wanted that or not. I mean, I almost want to say in a very strange way, some people will say like all publicity is good publicity, but also I'm sure he was thinking like, man, like we are not nearly there. We are just figuring out combat as we saw throughout Alpha 1. And this is an insane amount of hype. And how do we manage that moving forward? So yeah, there's certainly a hibernation right now for Intrepid. Long needed, and for as long as they need. With the different nailed Alpha 1.
Yeah, with the different setbacks that they had over the time, there's like 3 or 4 specific ones. Obviously, COVID being a big one. There's a part of me that thinks that they were just like, we just need to get Alpha 1 because we promised we could do it, and then we can look at the rest later. But Alpha 1 just needs to be done. So it's just a thought, and it was a very interesting conversation, Benza, that you brought up with the idea of how they do nailing the Alpha 1. There is one other thing we wanted to talk to you about. Have you heard about the big hire from the other day?
Was that for the? I heard about it. I'm trying to remember exactly what position it was for. You mind filling me back in on that?
It's the Tennman. You want to say what the position was?
This was this. I mean, I just saw this. I think it was yesterday on LinkedIn. It was today on Twitter for Masters of Creation.
Okay,
but essentially, the head for the last 9 years, one of the lead writers and narrative designers for Elder Scrolls Online has joined the Intrepid Studios team.
Right. Wynn McLaughlin is the name. And they also were part of the world design team for Star Wars The Old Republic during the development of that game. And obviously that game has an incredible world. There's a lot of negatives you can say about that game, but the world building is really, really good. And ESO has incredible world building and a really good story, again, despite the flaws in the rest of the game. So in my opinion, that's a huge hire. Like, that's not only somebody who has many, many years of experience in the field, so like that you want that, but also they've worked on very, very successful MMOs that are major players in the space today. So I mean, I think that's huge deal.
Yeah, honestly, to me, when I did hear that earlier, and it was actually through your Discord that I got like the notification that he was hired, and I'm someone that's played ESO for over 1,400 hours, and yeah, I would say that some of their designs I don't like, so I'm hoping that he'll bring a fresh perspective to the game for Ashes. I'm hoping that he doesn't, kind of rely on all of his past experience with ESO.
Sure.
Although I do love a lot of aspects about Elder Scrolls Online, but I think that kind of just bolstered my feeling about Ashes of Creation, especially with Ashes losing Jeffrey Bard. That was kind of a big hit for a lot of people. Them bringing on another big hire is actually going to be pretty exciting for me, because I feel like they need a couple more of those to really like hit the nail on the head for what this game can do. I feel like they're almost there in terms of the staff that they have to really make it pan out the way that they want to.
Warlord here is saying that the title is Senior Narrative Designer. So that's the official title that this person is having. So it's going to be writer. It's going to be writing out the story and the lore of the game and many of the characters and stuff like that. And when you consider how fleshed out the story and lore of both Star Wars: The Old Republic and Elder Scrolls Online are, I think that's leaning in a really, really good direction for the game, for sure.
100%.
That's actually a good point, Warlord. We should have clarified at the beginning. This is not taking Jeffrey Bard's position. This is just another big position that has essentially been filled here. This guy lives in Pennsylvania. He writes novels in his free time. He's going to be working full time and remote. So he's going to be staying in the Pennsylvania area. And just to have somebody who's been writing stories, not only as a novelist, but also just in the MMO field, not just in gaming, but for MMOs, successful MMOs for the last 13 years. 2 MMOs, by the way, that are still running, that have updates, right? Like, that are still have community. I was really excited to hear this today. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely was as well. And like you said, writing for the MMO space is different than writing for just a one-off game, because you have to leave room you can't like completely wrap up storylines. You have to leave room because there's going to be expansions. There's going to be things coming down the line. So you have to leave room. And then obviously being a novel writer as well, that means that their experience with just storytelling just in general So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this hire, and I hope that we continue to hear about more hires. And the more we hear about hires that are like experienced in the MMO world, you know that the industry is taking Ashes of Creation more seriously, which obviously we all want to see. Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm just gonna throw this up there and see if anybody knows what to do.
Theory shark do 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 do. Theory shark do 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 do. Theory shark do 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 do. Theory shark.
Shark.
So I didn't. I forgot to move Benz's logo down below the little splash screen there, but that's fine.
Wait, now I feel like that shark's name should be Benza from now on.
Let's do it.
Like, I feel like Theory Shark is Benza singing. That's him. That's Theory Shark. Dude, I'm gonna be like, it's Benza, the Theory Shark. And we'll just say that every week. Just like my Sparkly Cup's name is Stephanie. Don't ask questions you don't know the answer to. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And of course, you know Stefan. This is Stefan, my microphone. Everybody has a name. We've already seen him. Never mind. Oh, I love you, Zillan.
I'm just waiting for you to finish your nonsense.
I enjoy each week and treat it like it's my last.
Yeah, right? Well, and you never know when it might be, Tin Man. You never know when it might be your last show. Benz has been an awesome guest on the show. We might just roll Benz over into your spot and just move on.
All right, just put me down there.
I love that. That's a fantastic idea. I could use a week off. It's exhausting.
Ben Tennman. There we go. Just move him out.
Oh, that's funny. So for those of you guys who don't know, when the Theory Shark splash screen plays, the first person who puts something in the chat for us to theorycraft on, we will theorycraft on it. It can be about Ashes of Creation. It can be about New World. It can be about your favorite sports car, whatever. I don't care. We will. No, Steven, get off. No, Steven.
Sorry, he's never done that before. I had to. Warlord said, and your flip-flop name's Steven. It's Warlord's fault. Ban Warlord. Wasn't me. Stomach isn't on the counter. Wasn't me. My flip-flop was even on the stream. Wasn't me. Okay. I'm done. Theory Shark, y'all. Come on. Let's go. Put your Theory Sharks in the chat. Is that how we're supposed to say that, Zillan?
Theorycraft when Zillan will hit level 20 in New World. There we go, guys. That's the Theorycraft. That's the Theorycraft for the day. Go. Take it away. Tin Man, Benza. When will Zillan hit level 20 in New World?
Oh, man. So, I don't know. I feel like this will say, because I'm actually big into New World myself, Zillan. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm going to be streaming the game and making guides on it and stuff. I think once you get convinced that you're going to play New World, and the first day you log in, like you'll probably
hit level
20 in 2 days. Oh, you played it, so you own the game.
Yeah, I played about 40 hours of not this last beta that they just had, but the previous beta. I had a level 29 character and a level 25 character.
Then he's already hit it in the past. Then all right, there we go. Theorycraft complete.
I'm actually glad that you're like going to play New World, want to make content out of it, because like I want to see that.
Can we just acknowledge that Benson just straight up said Theorycraft complete? Like, we're done here, boys.
Yeah, we're done. Let's get to the next one. Let's go. Where's the next Theorycraft?
Theory Shark's my favorite. It
He's already hit level 29, so we're good.
It's done. It's already said.
Mission accomplished.
So this is what I think is going to happen. The New World comes out on September 28th. Zillan is level 7. He's getting into the game, and then I send him a message. Hey, I've just finished a new Mount Me Daddy rap. And then he's like, oh, cool. And then we start working on the show, and then he kind of forgets about the game. And then 3 years from now, when mounts and raids come out in the game and there's 70 different ways to boost your character to max level, he'll log in and be like, oh wow, and then just press a button that autos him to level 50. By that time the max level will be 80, And that is the day that he will technically breach level 20.
Okay, so many months after launch day.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So Ariamano says, do you think survival games will overtake MMOs?
Ooh.
There's a theory craft for you.
That's a good one.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Do you think survival games will overtake MMOs? Anybody?
Oh, I was going to let Ben go first.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think people have the skin for games like that to really like make it that popular, to be honest with you. That's just my take on it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys have played Borderline 2. That game kind of feels like a survival game and an MMO kind of mixed together, but I don't know.
What? What game?
Mortal Online 2, sorry.
Mortal Online 2. Yeah. And it is kind of like that. That's true. I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, couldn't you argue that Minecraft is a survival game?
I guess you could argue a lot of games are survival games, but I guess what does he mean by like an actual survival game then, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when I start thinking about like in Minecraft, can you can't starve in Minecraft, right? You only eat for like bonuses. Is that right? God, it's been so long since I played Minecraft.
I've never played Minecraft. I'm gonna
never played
it right now.
Okay.
I don't think I'm very qualified for this question, but maybe
you're not qualified for this question.
That is an interesting. That is an interesting theory, Shark. Though, I mean, I'd like to, especially with like Icarus changing so much about the genre, their iteration of it, and gaming as a whole still being in its infancy. I do think that there could be. I mean, I don't know how to categorize survival games, but I think there could be survival-based MMOs that have all kinds of mechanics and ideas that we have not even ever done in video games. It's people saying that like, oh, we've like figured out video games, or we've lived through the golden age. Like, by no means. I actually think we are on the precipice of like really figuring out not only how to like combine video games. Like Lost Ark is an action RPG MMO, right? Like that, and then that is groundbreaking in its own way. I just think we'll see so much crossover in the future. Maybe so much crossover that we don't even categorize games like we do now. Where it's just like each game's like, well, that's like a this, and this put together, right? Like this is like a MOBA with some roguelike elements that also has survival elements, and it's like, okay, well, that's kind of like a game that's never existed. But I do think survival. I mean, I want to play a survival-based MMO. I want to see what Icarus looks like, where there's 1,000 people on the server and you're all trying to build houses as fast as possible and PvP is active, and then you all have to leave the world again. I know right now it's only 8 people, right? But like, where is the future of gaming, especially as we break technological barriers on like how much can be existing without lag in one space? So yeah,
I would like to I mean, this makes me want to do like a full-on study on which of the two is more popular right now. Like, has survival games already overtaken MMOs?
If you like, Minecraft is giant.
Well,
way bigger than any
throw
MMO.
Minecraft out. Throw Minecraft out. You don't have like to me, one of the key features to a survival game is you have to eat and drink to survive. Like that's what makes it survival. So, but like you start going Ark, Rust, Scum, 7 Days to Die, Age of Conan, or Conan Exiles. Age of Conan is the old MMO. Conan Exiles. Like there's a bunch. And then how much easier it is to spit that style of game out. The Don't Starve is a survival game. And I would bet that if you went and you just took a cross section of like the top 20 survival games and then did the top 20 MMOs and looked them up on like Twitch viewership, for example, I would bet survival games have more viewers than MMOs, the top MMOs. Maybe not. But that's just
I want to look that up.
It'd be an interesting conversation to have for sure. But just based on sheer number, there's so many more survival games than MMOs.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video with Asmongold where he goes over like the top 10 games over the last couple decades. Comparing it with WoW. WoW falls off really quickly, by the way. Kind of like a spoiler here.
Right.
A lot of other games overtake it. I think Minecraft was like up there for like the longest time. League of Legends, other games like that. I think MOBAs kind of dominated the scene, and you're seeing different games come in. I guess the more like better question for the theory crafting would be, will MMOs come back into the forefront of gaming like it used to be back in like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, will Ashes of Creation help get that rejuvenation of the MMO category, which we've lost for the last 10 years plus, you know?
Right.
That's probably the better question.
Yeah, Palia. So for instance, like Animal Crossing, I watched that video, by the way, and I saw how far Minecraft goes and how crazy Animal Crossing goes, especially in 2020 during COVID. I think Palia is the best way to take a bunch of Minecraft and Animal Crossing players and introduce them to the MMO genre. I actually, and this is a hot take, I'm way more interested to play Ashes of Creation. Everyone knows that, but I think Palia will have if successful, has a much better chance of having millions of more players than Ashes, because there's so many. There's like 50 million people or some absurd in that video, Ben. I know what you're talking about. At the height, it was like literally like 50 million. I know that wasn't people playing the game. I think it was the amount of people looking up the information on it. I don't remember exactly what that video.
Yeah, it was Google searches or whatever.
Google searches, like 50 million people searching about Animal Crossing at the height of 2020 in summer of 2020. So it was so much higher than any Google searches for MMOs. So yeah, I think Palia is the best chance we have of like people playing Palia and then finding Ashes, or playing Palia.
So I don't think people are going to transfer from a non-PvP game where there's no PvE content. All you do is build and work together. Like, you know, like the MMO for, what is it called again? Cross Farms, or what is it called?
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossings.
There we go. Right. I don't even know the name of it, to be honest, because it's so off the spectrum of what I'm interested in.
Right.
But anyway, I don't think there's any chance in hell they're going to come over. They might go to like other games like New World where you can turn PvP off or something like that.
Right.
They're not going to go to a game where you're forced into PvP.
Right.
When they don't want any PvE, no PvP. Mm-hmm. I do think it's going to be massively popular. I actually think the game looks pretty good already. But
I tried so hard. Like they sent me multiple things in the application to get into the beta testing. They sent me multiple things and asking me all these deep questions, and I would spend an hour typing up these big paragraphs. I was trying so hard to get on that beta because I knew if I could be in the first group of people making YouTube videos for that game, that could really grow my YouTube channel. But I didn't get invited, and then somebody I know who doesn't even make content did get invited, and I cried myself to sleep. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I cried myself to sleep that night. So it is time for us to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for the comments and the suggestions for the theory crafting. It's always fun to do that, and just you guys keep that in mind in future episodes. As soon as you see the theory crafting theory shark splash screen, feel free to start throwing in.
Oh no, it's grown back already. God, Ben is so manly. Ben can really grow it.
Yeah, he definitely can. But we thank you guys so much for coming in. Probably a lot of us are going to go over and hang out in my Discord and kind of have a little bit of an after show and say hi and all that stuff. So you guys are more than welcome to come over there and do that. The link is in the description below. And we'll see all you guys over there. Thank you guys so much. We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks again, Ben.